Hello and welcome back to our fifth video for the week. In this video, I want to go over the um, example problems or the study guide problems to make sure that you guys have the correct answer and really understand how to take the concepts that we talked about in the lecture portion and actually apply those concepts to a problem. So if you have not already done so, I strongly encourage you to attempt these on your own first. That way you get you get some experience trying to work with the problem, trying to pull out the important data, and then correctly calculating the right answers. So if you haven't done that yet, pause the video and give these problems a shot. Okay. Again, the takeaway here is to make sure that you know how to, or that you understand those concepts that we talked about, as well as apply those concepts. Okay. So pause the video, give them all a shot, come on back, and then we'll discuss how exactly do we calculate these problems. Okay, so we have Bob's Burgers. In case you haven't noticed, I am a huge Adult Swim fan, Family Guy. Basically anything Seth MacFarlane does I think is hysterical. Anywho, so Bob's Burgers computes its plant-wide predetermined overhead rate annually on the basis of direct labor hours. Okay, at the beginning of the year, right? Remember, we said that, hey, we have to calculate the predetermined overhead rate before the period begins. We do that based on estimates, right? So Bob estimates that he will need 20,000 direct labor hours and to reach this level of burger production, and he also estimates that 94,000 of fixed, he estimates 94,000 of fixed manufacturing overhead. Okay, goes on to say that the cost for the coming period of variable manufacturing overhead is $2 per direct labor hour. Okay, Bob's actual manufacturing overhead cost for the year was $123,900, and the actual direct labor was 21,000 hours. Now, we need to compute the plant-wide predetermined overhead rate. Those last two sentences, or actually the last sentence, Bob's actual MOH cost and the actual direct labor hours incurred, we don't care. We're at the beginning of the period. We want to apply. We need to know how much do we apply. Very simple to do. So the first thing, if you'll notice, we put the total cost equation, y equals a plus b of x. That's what we're using. So what are my total fixed costs? Let me rephrase that. What are my total estimated fixed MOH costs? Well, they're 94,000. Problem tells us, hey, guess what? Bob estimated 94,000 of fixed MOH. What is the total estimated variable MOH costs? Well, that's easy. I know that we estimated $2 per direct labor hour times the estimated activity base. Well, Bob estimated 20,000 direct labor hours. Okay. Wait a minute, Professor Bruce. It says 21. Yes. 21,000 were actually incurred. We don't care about that now. We are not applying the predetermined overhead rate. We are actually calculating the predetermined overhead rate. Okay. In order to do that, remember your 4 steps. First, estimate the fixed manufacturing overhead, already done for us. Second, estimate the variable manufacturing overhead cost, already done for us. What we're doing now, the third step, calculate the total estimated manufacturing overhead cost. Excuse me. So our variable MOH is 40,000. Remember, how do I get my total manufacturing overhead cost? That's easy. I take my fixed portion of MOH plus my total variable portion of MOH. I add those up. 94,000 plus 40,000, if my math is right, gives us $134,000. Now we have to calculate the plant-wide rate. Super duper easy. Why? Because we know the equation. I need to take first, I'm going to say A here for a reason. Okay, A, my estimated total manufacturing overhead, which we already calculated in the first part, 134,000. Then I take, and I'm going to call this B, the total estimated, or the estimated, sorry, total direct labor hours, which what did he estimate? He estimated 20,000 hours. So how do I get my POR? That's easy. I take the estimated total MOH divided by the estimated total direct labor hour, or since I numbered or lettered them A and B, A divided by B or estimated total MOH divided by estimated total direct labor hour. 134,000 divided by 20 gives me $6.70 per direct labor hour. So we would apply $6.70 based on what was actually incurred, the 21,000. That's how you apply it. Okay. Problem didn't ask us to apply it. Problem asked us, how do we calculate the predetermined overhead rate? That was 14. Now let's look at 15. Told you I love Adult Swim and Seth MacFarlane. All right. Peter Griffin Incorporated uses a plant-wide predetermined overhead rate of $23.40 per direct labor hour. The predetermined overhead rate was based on a cost formula that estimated $257,400 of total manufacturing cost for an estimated activity level of 11,000 direct labor hours. Okay. The company actually incurred total MOH costs of $249,000 and $10,800 worth of direct labor hours during the period. We now need to apply. We got to calculate the amount of manufacturing overhead to the job during the period. So we're going to apply. Now, out of all this information, the $23.40 is the is the predetermined overhead rate. Okay? They were so nice and they provided us additional information of, hey, the formula that we use, remember what the formula is? Hopefully you're saying it in your head, I hope so. If not, it's the total estimated MOH divided by the estimated activity level. Okay? So basically they took $257,400 and divided it by 11,000 direct labor hours. They got $23.40. Okay? We don't need to do that. That is a total moot point. I just kind of wanted to reinforce or repeat, I guess you could say, how we calculate that predetermined overhead rate. They already gave it to us. Okay. They gave us a different additional information. Hey, here's the actual manufacturing overhead costs that we incurred. Here's the actual direct labor hours used. So right now, without even calculating anything, I'm going to ask you this, because I said in the, I think it was the third video, or the fourth video, excuse me. Remember, you got to know how to identify underapplied and overapplied, what it means, how to fix it. Okay. They used as an estimate $257,400. They actually incurred $249,000. Do you think they overapplied or underapplied? They probably overapplied, right? Because why? They estimated more cost than they actually incurred. Okay? Look at the activity level. They estimated 11,000, but they actually incurred 10,800, right? So they used less activity than they estimated. Okay? But what we need to do here is apply. So remember how we apply. We take the predetermined overhead rate and we multiply it by the actual. We apply it by the actual activity level that was used. Okay? So first thing we're going to put is, what is the actual direct labor? Well, the actual direct labor from the problem is $10,800. Or, I'm sorry, 10,800 hours, right? What is the predetermined overhead rate? It's $23.40. So what is the MOH that was applied? Well, that's easy. We take the actual direct labor and we multiply it by the predetermined overhead rate. And if we take 10,800, multiply it by $23.40, we end up with $257,720 applied. So we actually applied way more, $257,200, than we actually incurred. Okay, so that's problem 15. Now let's look at 16. Told you. Love me some Seth MacFarlane. He's hysterical. Okay, so Stan Smith Dry Cleaning. They have a predetermined overhead rate of $14 per direct labor hour. Its direct labor wage rate is $17 per hour. Total information that they give us pertains to job A500. Direct material $231. Direct labor $153. Okay? We need to figure out what is the total direct labor, what is the total manufacturing cost assigned to job A5. If job A5 or A500 consists of 40 units, what is the unit cost of this job? So, first thing we got to do is we got to figure out what is our total manufacturing cost. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to say, hey, this is easy. Direct material, we got $231. Direct labor, we have $153. MOH. Ah, crap. You know what? I totally forgot to calculate what the predetermined overhead rate was. Oh, wait a minute. They give it to me. They tell me it's $14. Okay. So I'm going to take $14 times how many hours? Uh-oh. They didn't give us any hours. How in the world do I figure out how many hours were incurred to complete job A500? Well, they give us enough information. We know that, bear with me here. Okay, so we have enough information here to figure it out, right? We know what the direct labor cost is. Well, wait a minute, why do we care about direct labor? We care about direct labor because that is the allocation base. Okay, so that's why we care about it, number one. What is the total direct labor cost? Well, they tell us it's $153, right? If we don't believe them, we could take, yeah, it's $153. So the total direct labor is $153. Okay, well, it still doesn't tell me how many hours they worked, right? But we know another piece of information. We know how much we paid them. We know what the direct labor wage rate is. Oh, direct labor wage rate, direct labor wage rate is $17 per hour. If I divide my total cost by the unit cost, that should give me the number of units that I used, right? So to figure out what the direct labor is, or the direct labor hours, I take my total cost divided by my rate per hour. So 153,000 divided by 17,000 gives me 9 hours. Okay? So let me scroll down a little bit more. So since I already know that the direct labor hours incurred are 9, I can multiply that by the predetermined overhead rate of $14. I get 126 bucks. What's my total MOH cost? Well, that's easy. Total manufacturing cost is direct material plus direct labor plus manufacturing overhead. 231 plus 153 plus 126 should give me $510. Now, I need to figure out the unit product cost. Super duper easy, right? What's my total manufacturing cost? Total manufacturing cost is $510. Okay? How many units did I produce? Well, the problem tells us, oh, by the way, you produced 40 units. So if I want to figure out the unit product cost, all I need to do is divide total manufacturing cost by the number of units. 510,000 divided by 40 gives me $12, and if I can read my writing, it looks like 75 cents. Bear with me, let me double check that for a second. $0.75, yes. So that's $12.75 is the unit product cost. Okay, so that is how we do. That's how we apply those concepts we learned. Now, where are we at? Presumably, you've already read Chapter 2. You've just completed your study guide. Now go ahead and work on your pre-built problem within Connect. Now, if you have any problems, if you have any questions, if there's a video, or let me rephrase that, if there's a situation arises that maybe a video didn't cover and you want to see an example, email me, text me, okay? In fact, or use the discussion board to post suggested video topics of what you would want to see more of. I will gladly post those videos for you, or we can have a live one-on-one session, whatever you need, just let me know. That's all you got to do. Text me, give me the information, what you need, I'll provide it for you. I'll help you out. Okay, so that's it for the lecture portion, I guess you could say, of chapter 2. Go ahead and work on your homework problems. Um, Again, if you run into any difficulties, please, please, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to work with you. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week where we cover chapter 3, which is a deeper look into job costing. So tune back in for that one.